come on, pack your bags, let's find you somewhere else to live. And I was like, is this really happening?
Been a demon on guard, looking like I still do fraud, flying private jet.
So yeah, this is a video of me coming out. So how it all started was, let me see, I had a dream that, before all this, my mom suspected that I was gay when I was younger, because I always had a group of girls to hang out with, and I never really put it into perspective, like, oh, I'm hanging with this group of girls, so people think I'm gay. I never thought that. I was just, oh, this is just my friends. I didn't really care. But people have always asked me, JT, are you gay? Are you this? And I was be like, no, like, I'm not. So then, now I had a dream that, well, prior to this, again, my mom asked me during the summer, are you gay? And I said, what the heck, no, why would you ask me that? And I thought it was so weird of her to do that, but now it's like, she just asked me. So now I had a dream that I kissed a boy and a girl. And when I woke up from the dream, it didn't faze me. So I'm like, is this really happening? Like did I really just have that dream? So I started crying. I don't know why. I started texting with my friend Sierra. I was like, Sierra, I just had a dream. I think I'm gay. I think I'm bi. I don't know. She was like, well, just be who you are, blah, blah, blah. It won't change the way I love you, the way you're my friend. It won't change. I'm like, okay. So I called one of my cousins, Aubrey. And I was like, Aubrey, dude, is this really happening? She's like, what? I was like, I think I'm gay, I think I'm bi. I'm still crying on the phone, like, I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. She was like, JT, it's okay. It's okay to be that, it's okay to be that. And I was like, no, it's not, because I want kids, and you can't be this and have kids. She's like, yes, you can. She's like, people just think that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I don't know. She's like, you still have time to think. And I was like, you're right. So then, a couple of days has passed. I haven't thought about it. So I sat in class, and I was like, JT, are you gay? Are you bi? And I was like, I don't know. So later that night, I was like, I sat in my room. I was like, just talk to you. Sorry, I just burped. I was like, talk to yourself. And I was like, how would you feel if you dated a girl? How would you feel if you dated a guy? I'll be like, either way, I'm still dating someone, it wouldn't affect me. So I'm like, you're bi. And I was like, yeah, I'm bi. I'm bisexual. I like guys and I like girls. Well, lately I feel like I've been liking guys more. I guess I've dated girls, so I don't know. So I told myself this, and I told a couple friends, I was like, hey, I found myself, I'm bi. And they were like, that's fine, be who you are, be who you're born to be JT. And I was like, you're right, like, I should be myself. So then it got time to tell some family. And I told my cousin Kimberly, I was like, hey, I'm bi, I hope this doesn't change the relationship. She was like, it doesn't affect me, because you're still my cousin at the end of the day, and I'll always love you, and it wouldn't change it. And she said it wouldn't change anything. I was like, thank you so much, I love you. She's like, I love you too. I was like, but I'm scared to tell your brother. She was like, he'll feel the same way. So I texted him, I was like, hey, I'm bi, blah, blah, blah. He was like, that doesn't change anything, you're still family, you're like a brother. And I was like, wow, I'm getting all this positivity, and it's making me want to get up to the point to tell my mother. So I'll tell my cousin Kimberly. I was like, I want to tell my mom, but I'm so scared. She was like, tell her, you should tell her, because she'll still love you, that's your mother, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, you're right. So I went to talk to a couple. I went to talk to my, not a couple, my cousin Ashton. He's, whatever. I was like, how did you find the courage, blah, blah, blah. He was like, I just told them, or some of them knew, something like that. He was like, does my mom like it? No. He was like, do I care? No. And I was like, wow, like, I need that confidence. I need that mentality to tell my mother and stuff like that. I was like, I'm scared. And he was like, either way, they'll still love you. Either way, because you're her son. I was like, you're right. So I asked one of my, I was talking to one of my closest friends, Trotzy and Tajay. I was like, should I tell her through text or in person? They were like, don't tell her through text, because you'll be so scared when you finally see her after you send the message. I was like, you're right. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it on this day. Didn't do it. I'm doing this day. Didn't do it. Then I tell her in person. So my cousin's birthday dinner was on Saturday. I was on Saturday, I believe. So prior to that, I told I call her my aunt, mom, whatever. And I was like, hey, I'm bisexual, and I hope you don't feel a way about that. I will always love you, and I hope you love me. She said, you know, I'm always on your side. Whatever you choose to be, I'm still here for you. It won't change the fact. She was like, I'll be here to talk to you if you need someone to talk to. And I was like, oh my gosh, to finally tell like an older person, I guess, that's close to my mother, and they said that, makes me feel so much more confident. So she was like, I won't tell your mom if you don't want me to, but I'll always be here for you to talk to someone. I was like, thank you, that really means a lot. So I told my brother, and he was like, I don't really care as long as you're yourself, and just be careful, I don't care. So then I told my other aunt on my dad's side, and she was like, I always love you, it won't change the fact. And she said, if you ever come to people that don't like it, just let me know. And I was like, okay. And she was like, you know what I'm talking about? I said, okay, thank you so much, I love you. Actually, I love you too. So then it comes up to the day of the birthday dinner, and I went to work. I told my coworker, I was like, bro, I'm gonna tell her. I'm going to tell her today, no matter what. I'm telling her. And I feel like I came out to my mother sooner than what other people did, because like I found out what I was, and then like next week I told her. So then I got off work. She came pick me up. I was like, should I tell her right here in the car? But then I was like, no, I'm gonna tell her at the house. So I get home, I changed out of work clothes, shower, whatever, and I texted her. I was like, hey, I need to tell you something. She said, okay. So I went to go sit down in the living room, and I was like, she's like, what do you need to talk to me about? I said, I was like, I'm bisexual. And I said it so fast. And she laughed. And I was like, she was like, what do you, I was like, oh my God. It was quiet. She said, what do you need to tell me? Yeah, I think she said, what do you need to tell me? So I told her. I said, I'm bisexual. And it was quiet. I was like, I don't know what to do. Do I walk away? Do I just keep sitting here? So I just went to my room. And she texted me, and she was like, what did you really need to tell me? I said, I already told you. And she was like, I asked you during the summer if you were gay. I said, gay and bi are two different things. And she was like, swear that this is the truth, that you're telling me that you're bi, blah, blah. I said, I swear on my life, I swear on your life, I swear this is the truth. And she was like, come on, pack your bags, let's find you somewhere else to live. And I was like, is this really happening? Is this like, I was like, no, I'm just kidding. And this is all through text message at this point. And I was like, I'm just kidding. She said, no, come talk to me. So I got out there, and I told her, are you serious? She said, she didn't answer that question. And I sat down, and she was like, what did you tell me? I said, I already told you, I'm bi. And she was like, well, you weren't gonna go anywhere anyways because I love you, you're my son. And I started crying, like crying. I'm trying hard not to cry right now. And she was like, why are you crying? I said, because I don't want you to disown me. I don't want you to treat me like I'm not your son, disown me or whatever. She's like, why? She's like, why? I was like, because people do that to their family. They disown them and they don't talk to them or nothing. She said, but at the end of the day, you're my son. I'll always be your mother and I will love you through anything. And I was like, you're right. And she's like, as long as you're happy who you are, I don't really care. She said, but I want you to be careful out there because there's people out there that don't like people like that. And she brought up how someone shot up a gay club and people died because of who they were. And I was like, I understand. She was like, I always love you. You always be my son. And I gave her a big hug. And I was in my head, I was like, yes, I told her and she accepts me. And then now it's the point where I have to tell my grandma. And my mom already told my grandma for me. So I was laying down and my grandma came in. She said, what's going on? I said, nothing. So I got out of bed to do something. She was like, so what do you have to tell me? I'm like, what? She said, what do you have to tell me? She's like, so I'm going to be the last person you tell? I was like, what are you talking about? In my head, I'm thinking like, I already know what she's talking about. Apparently my mom told her. She's like, so you're just not going to tell me? I said, oh, I'm bisexual. She was like, oh, okay. She said, me and your mom always had a feeling. And some of the family members always respected it too, but they never really brought it up. So she was like, as long as you are who you are and you're careful, I don't really care because I love you and you will always be my grandson. And I was like, wow, people are accepting me for who I am. And that made me build up my confidence more to where I came out on Twitter and Instagram. And I'm gonna put it up here somewhere, the screenshots of me coming out on Twitter and Instagram. And when I came out on Twitter and Instagram, I thought people were going to be like, take this down, no one wants to see this. Take that post, don't post that picture because no one wants to see that. But no, people commented and retweeted and liked it and said, you have such great confidence, blah, blah, blah. And they were basically accepting me for who I am. So I was like, wow, this is really happening. I really have people that support me. And one of my other cousins, his name was Dre, and he was like, I'm so proud of you, blah, 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 embrace it. Who cares what anyone else says? Just be yourself. I was like, you're right. And my other cousin was like, welcome to the team, blah, blah, blah. And it was this really nice thing. But yeah, I wanted to share this with y'all because I found myself. I am who I am. I came out, and I hope this video can help other people come out and find out who they are so that they can be comfortable in their own skin. But anyways, y'all heard the story. That was my video. That's my story coming out. And I promise I'm gonna come out with more videos. I haven't came out with videos like 4 months. That's a long time. But anyways, y'all know the drill. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to my video.